This is a lie. The woman in the burnt orange powersuit blazer with gold cufflinks, sharp as razors, matching pencil skirt, heels clicking rage on polished marble. This is fake! Doctored evidence! Behind her on the screen, 10 feet high for 200 people to see, grainy trail camera footage. Timestamp, 4:02 p.m. 5 teenagers in varsity jackets surrounding a 16-year-old girl. Zip-tying her wrists. Throwing rope over oak branch. Slipping noose over her head. Lifting her until toes barely scraped ground. The woman on stage, Margaret Caldwell, HOA president of Hawthorne Ridge Estates, kept screaming. But no one was listening to her anymore. They were watching the screen. Watching her son Tyler in the center of the frame, phone in hand, recording, grinning. The audio kicked in, helicopter rotors, my voice tight with controlled panic. Finley, I'm 2 minutes out. Tell me she's still breathing. Then the screen switched. Close-up photos. Rope burns across my daughter's throat. Purple welts on wrists from zip ties. Medical report in bold letters. Attempted homicide by ligature strangulation. Finally, text messages. Enlarged. Crystal clear. Dad says it's on the oak tree. Make it look convincing. She needs to be scared off for good. Margaret's face, once tan and confident, now white as chalk, her perfect composure shattered. She'd just watched her son's crime projected for her entire social circle. Watched her own conspiracy unravel in 5 minutes of irrefutable evidence. Tyler, her son, lunged from his seat near the front, tried to get to the stage, to the cables, to make it stop. I was already moving. Met him at stage edge. He threw wild punch. I stepped inside, deflected, put him on floor with clean takedown. No drama, no wasted motion, just problem neutralized. Ballroom doors blew open. Sheriff's deputies strode in. Tyler Caldwell, you're under arrest for kidnapping and assault. Deputy turned to podium. Margaret Caldwell, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. Margaret's mouth worked. No sound came out. Years of image and money evaporating under projector light. My name is Connor Bryant, 48 years old, Navy SEAL for 23 years. And I'd just shown 200 people exactly what happens when you threaten the one thing in this world I have left to lose. My daughter's life, our land, our home. They tried to take it all. Now they were going to pay. The threat wasn't in the wind. It was tacked to my gate. First thing I noticed that October morning in East Tennessee was the cold. Crisp. Smelled of damp earth and pine the way a good Smoky Mountain morning should. But there was different kind of cold. Kind that comes on piece of paper, stiff and official, stuck to main gate of our farm. I saw it from kitchen window. White rectangle against dark wood. Catching first hint of dawn. My coffee still brewing. Good smell, fighting, losing battle with bad feeling, climbing, spine. I'd been Navy SEAL for 23 years. You learn to trust that feeling. Means threat is on wire even if you can't see it yet. Pulled on boots, skipping laces, walked out across wet grass, paper held by single shiny brass tack pushed deep into wood. From Hawthorne Ridge Homeowners Association. Fine. $150. Unkempt agricultural boundary adjacent to residential viewshed. Their fancy way of saying my fence line wasn't pretty enough. I tore paper down, tack coming with it. Ink still little damp. This wasn't mailed. Delivered by hand in dark. Message. Looked across road. Hawthorne Ridge. Collection of oversized houses painted 50 shades of beige, each with lawn so perfect looked like green concrete slab. Different world from my 600 acres of rolling hills and hardwood forest. Land that'd been in my wife's family for century. After she passed 3 years ago, this farm was all I had left of her besides our daughter Emily, and I would not let it go. We were here first, by long shot. These houses, new. Cancer spreading out from Knoxville. Their queen was woman named Margaret Caldwell, HOA president. Real estate developer who saw my farm not as home, but as phase 2 of her grand design. Woman who smiled with all teeth and none of eyes. Fine wasn't about money, about pressure. 10th, 1 in 6 months. Same 6 months her son Tyler and his crew made sport of my kid. Locker spray painted, tire slashed, fake rumor online, shove at bus stop. We filed 2 school reports. Warnings went nowhere. I caught 1 shove on phone at bus stop last week. Saved clip. Long grass, rusty hinge on secondary gate. Sound of tractor starting before 8 a.m. Each notice, little jab, reminder they were watching. That they considered my home eyesore, blocking their precious viewshed, crumpled paper in fist. They wanted war of attrition, wanted to bleed me out with lawyers and fines until forced to sell. What they didn't understand, I was very, very good at attrition. It's game of patience, observation, knowing when to escalate. Margaret Caldwell thought she was predator. She was just bully in designer suit, had no idea what real predator looked like, went back inside, finished coffee, standing at sink, looking out at old oak tree on ridge marking our property line. Giant. Landmark for whole valley. Also, exact spot Caldwell's lawyers kept trying to get easement on. Shortcut for her planned new road. Road worth millions to her. I'd told them no. 100 times. My wife and I carved initials in that tree when we were kids. Emily used to have tire swing on Lower Branch. That tree was as much part of my family as house was. Margaret saw it as obstacle, inconvenience. That's how people like her see world. Anything doesn't serve ambition, just something to be removed. Later that morning, as if on cue, Margaret's car black Mercedes, always too clean, pulled up to gate. She got out. Burnt orange power suit, tailored blazer, matching skirt, looking like she was heading to board meeting, her son Tyler in passenger seat, carbon copy of mother. Just with more muscle, less patience. 17, quarterback at Maryville High. Same grade as Emily, he stayed in car, staring at phone, picture of bored arrogance. Margaret walked to fence, hands on hips, surveying my property like already owned it. Connor, she said, voice smooth as oil. Got my notice, I see. Got it, Margaret. Didn't move from porch. Just formality, you understand. Board has rules. Must maintain certain standard for community. This isn't your community, I said. This is my farm. Your community ends at asphalt. Her smile tightened fraction. Look, Connor, we don't have to be enemies. I've made you generous offer. More than generous. You could buy new place. Something more manageable. No fences to mend. No fields to mow. I'm not selling. Words flat. Final. She sighed. Theatrical disappointment. Shame. This land has so much potential. Wasted, really. Paused. And it's a tough place to raise teenage girl, isn't it? All alone out here. Things can happen. She glanced back toward car. Tyler now watching us. Smirk on face. Wasn't question. Was threat. Veiled, slimy threat aimed at one thing in world that mattered to me. My training kicked in. Part of me that sees world in angles and threat assessments. She was telegraphing punch. Telling me where going to hit. Just too arrogant to think I'd know what to do about it. You and your boy stay on your side of fence, Margaret, I said. Voice didn't get louder. Got quieter. Colder. Stay far away from my daughter. She just chuckled, held up hands in mock surrender, walked back to car. As she drove away, Tyler lowered phone, met my eyes, dragged finger across throat, childish, also promise. And I knew had to take it seriously. People like Margaret were cowards. Used proxies. That afternoon, went to workshop. Old barn filled with tools for fixing tractors and mending fences. But in one locked steel cabinet, different set of tools. Things from old life. Took out small weatherproof trail camera, military grade, motion sensor, night vision, silent high-resolution shutter, year-long battery, no glow, no click. Walked up to ridge, to old oak. Found spot on trunk about 20 feet up, hidden in cluster of branches, strapped it tight, angled lens perfectly, covered base of tree, fence line both directions. Wide swath of access road from Hawthorne Ridge. Anyone who came onto my property from that direction, on camera. Tyler had turned barn cams last week. That's why I planted this hidden one. The week ago, barn cam showed new angle. Someone nudged it. Tyler's face flashed in shop window reflection. Clean ID. Time-stamped. High def. Undeniable. Turned it on. Climbed down. Woods quiet. Camera invisible. Cold knot in gut loosened little. Wasn't just waiting for their next move. I was watching. Ready. Board was set. And I knew with certainty that chilled me. Margaret Caldwell had just made biggest mistake of her life. She thought she was reminding me she was threat. All she'd really done was remind me of who I am. Emily came home from school a few hours later, truck rattling up long gravel drive. She was 16, had her mother's old soul, smart, steady, tougher than looked. She knew about pressure from HOA. We didn't hide things in our family. Walked into kitchen, dropped backpack, grabbed apple from bowl. Seen Margaret's car. Did Mrs. Caldwell stop by to admire our authentic rustic charm again? Dry sarcasm inherited from me. Told her about fine. About veiled threat. Didn't tell her about Tyler's gesture. No need to put that poison in her head. But did tell her about camera. She just nodded. Jaw tight. Understood. She'd grown up hearing my stories. Sanitized versions. Knew about situational awareness. Preparing battlefield. Good, was all she said. Then looked at me. Be careful, Dad. Saw worry in eyes. Same look her mother used to give before deployment. Only thing in world that could still scare me. I'm careful. Always careful. But starting to think careful wasn't going to be enough. Not this time. This time, fight had come home. Right to front gate, and had terrible feeling that before over, going to have to show Margaret Caldwell and her entitled son exactly what happens when you threaten man who has nothing left to lose but his child. Day had happened, started like any other. Cool, clear autumn afternoon. I was out in West Pasture mending section of fence Black Bear had remodeled night before. Methodical work, stretching wire, hammering staples. Kind of work that lets mind wander. Thinking about winter. Getting last of hay in. Quiet rhythm of farm. Emily supposed to be home from school. Usually took trail through woods from bus stop. Shortcut she'd used since little girl. Faster than taking main drive. She'd usually be in-house by 4. Music turned up too loud. Smell of whatever snack-making filling kitchen. It was 4:30. Checked watch. Still no music. No Emily. Tried not to worry. 16-year-olds get delayed. Friend, school project, flat tire, 100 perfectly normal reasons. But that cold feeling was back. Coiling in gut. Packed tools. Headed back toward house. Silence was wrong. Felt heavy. Oppressive. Called her phone. Straight to voicemail. That wasn't like her. Always answered. Walked into house. Her backpack by door. Right where always dropped it. But only sign of her. House empty. Walked room to room. Footsteps echoing on old hardwood. Nothing. Went back outside. Scanned edge of woods. Trail emerged near old oak on ridge. My eyes locked on that spot. Didn't know what happened yet. Not for sure. But later, when watched footage from trail cam, saw it all. Images burned into mind. Silent, grainy film playing on loop of pure cold rage. Camera activated 3:58 p.m. Emily walking out of woods, headphones on. Lost in own world. Then, from other side of fence, from direction of Hawthorne Ridge, 5 figures in Maryville, high jackets, big stitched numbers. Tyler Caldwell in lead. His friend's pack of grinning hyenas fanned out behind. Vaulted fence-like game. Emily saw them. Stopped. Pulled off headphones. Could see her stance change on video. Didn't shrink. They'd tried corner her here last week at dusk. She walked away. He didn't like that. Tyler said something. Couldn't hear words on silent footage. But could see sneer on face. Enjoying this. King of little world. Here to deliver message. from mother. One of his friends, big kid built like linebacker, grabbed her arm. Emily tried pulling away. Movement sharp, efficient. Almost got free. Too many. They swarmed. Tyler tossed zip ties. He'd brought them. 2 held arms, while 3rd zip-tied wrists behind back. She fought. Kicked. Didn't matter. Stronger. Caught up in mob mentality. Laughing. Shoving. Footage nauseatingly clear. Tyler pulled out phone. Started filming. Walked around her. Circling like shark. Face mask of smug superiority. Narrating for audience. For video, probably planned to post online. Humiliate her. Humiliate me. Show everyone Bryant's could be broken, then dragged her toward oak. One threw thick rope over low, heavy branch. Same branch that used to hold tire swing. Fashioned crude noose. Slipped over her head. Wasn't tight. Wasn't meant to kill. Not right away. Meant to terrorize. Leave mark. Lifted her just enough so toes barely scraping ground. Rope taking weight. Then came moment that turned blood to ice. Tyler stepped close. Phone right up to face. Could read lips on screen. Words perfect match for ones his friend would later repeat to sheriff's deputy. In statement, Jake wrote it word for word. He grinned. Wide. Predatory. Said, "Your daddy's some big bad seal, right? Where is he now? Superman going to fly in and save you?" He and friends laughed. Chorus of cruel, stupid sounds. Then just left her there. Vaulted back over fence. Disappeared. Jogging back toward perfect beige houses. Leaving my daughter hanging from tree on own land. Video showed Emily alone, body twisting slightly. Moment of panic in eyes. I saw it. Pure animal fear. Then saw something else. Saw training kick in. Things I taught her. Not for a situation like this, but for life. For dealing with stress, fear. Her eyes closed. Body stilled. Chest rose and fell. Slow, measured rhythm. 4 seconds in. Hold 7, 8 seconds out. Box breathing. Tool to calm nervous system. Force oxygen to brain. Keep panic from taking over. Staying in control. Saving energy. Thinking. Then saw her left hand. The one with watch I'd given for 16th birthday. Simple digital watch. One special feature. Emergency beacon. Saw fingers clumsy from angle and zip ties start tapping side of watch. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. Simple repeating pattern. SOS. Silent, desperate signal being sent out. Signal that at that moment I was completely unaware of. I was still back at house, own panic rising, calling her name into silent woods. Trail cam footage ended few minutes later. File saved. Lens waiting patiently for next movement. Camera had done its job. Been my eyes. Recorded truth, but couldn't help her. As I stood there by empty house, terrible dread settling, I knew Emily was in trouble. Kind of trouble fines and lawyers couldn't fix, kind that demanded response they couldn't imagine. Grabbed keys to truck, about to tear down drive when brain finally caught up with instincts. Driving too slow, roads wound around hills, fastest way to ridge to oak, straight line. But man on foot, still just man on foot. Needed better vantage point, needed to see what running toward. Mind raced through assets. Truck, tractor, the helicopter. After left Navy, started small charter service. Flying tourists over Smokies. Peaceful. My Bell 206 reliable old workhorse sitting in hangar behind barn. Fastest way to get eyes on entire property. Decision instant. Sprinted for hangar. Cell service on farm was joke. One of the things I loved about it. Rolling hills and thick woods create dead zones technology can't penetrate. Forced disconnection from noise of world. Right now, curse. Phone useless brick. No bars. No signal. No way to call help. No way to find Emily with simple location ping. Panic bubbling up. Hot, acidic. Slammed phone down on counter. Useless. Had to rely on older methods. Rely on myself. Ran outside. Yelled her name until throat raw. Only answer, wind rustling autumn leaves. Lonely. Mocking. I was alone. Cut off. This was their plan. Realized they knew about dead zones. Tyler and friends lived across way. Knew exactly where you could and couldn't get signal. They'd isolated her. Isolated me. Simple but effective tactical choice. By time figured out something wrong, precious minutes, maybe hours would pass. Well-designed trap, but they didn't know everything. Didn't know about games we used to play when Emily little, games that were really training exercises disguised as fun. We had system, backup for when technology failed, whistle, small, flat, two-chambered survival whistle I wore on cord around neck, produced two distinct high-pitched notes at once, discordant sound cutting through dense woods, carrying for miles. We had signals, one long blast, come home, series of short blasts, need help but okay, then two-note signal, high note followed immediately by low, over and over. Signal for extreme danger meant I am in trouble and cannot get to you. Practiced it, never thought she'd have to use it. Then I heard it, faint but unmistakable, high, then low. Desperate piercing shriek carried on wind from direction of ridge. Wasn't Emily's whistle. Couldn't be, they had her. But someone was blowing that signal. Blood ran cold. Who? Who was out there? Who found her? Mind raced through possibilities. Hiker. Hunter. Then realized who had to be. Neighbor Jackson. Jackson was rancher whose property bordered mine to north. Man of about 70, tough as old leather, eyes that saw everything. Spent most days on horseback checking cattle which grazed right up to my fence line. We didn't talk much. But mutual respect, kind that exists between men who understand land. He would have recognized sound of those kids, would have known something wrong. Whistle sounded again. High, low, frantic, urgent rhythm. He wasn't just signaling, relaying. Emily must have used own whistle, one kept in backpack before they took it, or maybe just screamed. Jackson heard. Investigated. Seen situation. Couldn't get to her. Fence and steep ravine on his side. Knew my phone. Useless. So, using our code. Blowing signal from his side of ridge. Hoping I'd hear. My relay. My lifeline. Just as realization hit, landline in kitchen started ringing. Shrill, old-fashioned jangle cutting through silence. Sprinted back inside. Snatched receiver. "Bryant!" I barked. "Connor, it's Jackson." Voice gravelly. Strained. No preamble. "You need to get up to Big Oak now." "What is it?" I demanded. Already knew. "Your girl, Emily. She's up in tree. Strung up. That Caldwell kid and his pack. I saw them run off few minutes ago. Left her there. Every word hammer blow. Strung up. Left her there." Images mind conjured 1,000 times worse than grainy footage I'd later see. Is she moving? Clinical. Operator now. Not father. Emotion. Liability. Little, Jackson said. But not for long, I figure. "Branch is low, but she's hanging, Connor. Hanging." Paused. "Called sheriff, but coming from town. 20 minutes at least." "You don't have 20 minutes." He was right. Didn't have 20 minutes. Might not have 5. I'm on my way. Hung up. Trap sprung. Clock ticking. Rage pure white hot, but packed down deep. Rage makes sloppy. Couldn't afford sloppy. Needed cold. Fast. Efficient. Grabbed fixed blade knife from kitchen drawer. One used for cutting hay bales. Slid into belt. Ran for hanger. Mind clear, cold void. All thought. Geometry of problem. Distance. Time. Objective. Get to Emily. Everything else. Noise. Game on. I was coming fast. Roar of bell 206's turbine-filled hangar. Familiar, comforting sound-focusing mind. Pre-flight check automatic. Muscle memory. Fuel. Hydraulics. Controls. Everything green, less than 2 minutes from reaching hangar, lifting off. Skids rising from concrete, kicking up storm of dust and loose leaves. Climbed fast, banking hard toward ridge. From air, farm spread below. Patchwork of gold and brown fields. Deep green forest. Looked peaceful. Postcard. But new down there, in shadow of giant oak, horror unfolding. Crested first hill. Ridge came into view. Same jackets. Same voices from bus stop video I saved. Pattern confirmed. Same bullies. Same crew. Same spot they tried last week. About to get worse. Saw it immediately. Small figure dangling from low branch. Emily, even from distance of half mile, could see unnatural stillness. Heart hammered against ribs. Frantic trapped bird. Pushed cyclic forward, urging helicopter faster. Engine whining protest. Needed closer. Assess situation. But couldn't just land. Ground around tree, uneven, sloped, covered in rocks. Safe landing impossible. Slope, rocks, rotor wash, bad math. More importantly, noise and rotor wash from close approach would draw attention. Announce arrival. Needed element of surprise. Made decision. Use flyby as decoy. Flew directly over tree. High enough, not direct threat. Low enough, unmissable. Show of force, no safe LZ. Use noise to cover sprint. Next pass. Cockpit cam, catches scene. Loud screaming declaration, I was here, wanted them. Think trapped in air. Only option. Circle and watch helpless. If Tyler and friends still nearby watching handiwork, helicopter would fix attention on sky. Make them look up, not down at fence line. Gamble. Only play I had. As passed over, got clear look. Rope wasn't around neck in way, killing quickly, high under jaw, designed to slowly strangle as strength gave out. Body limp. Couldn't tell if conscious. New colder wave of fury. This wasn't just threat. Clumsy, arrogant attempt at murder, orchestrated by child who'd watched too many movies. Banked away. Flying wide slow, circle over valley. Making look like searching for landing spot. Waiting for sheriff. But eyes memorizing terrain below. Picked spot. Small flat clearing 300 yards down fence line, hidden from oak by dense pine stand, brought helicopter down fast, controlled crash barely giving skids time to settle, didn't shut engine. Couldn't spare time for restart, put in idle, rotor still turning slowly, blanket of ambient noise, jumped out, knife already in hand, sprinted, 300 yards felt like 3 miles. Lungs burned, legs ached. Wasn't 25 anymore, but adrenaline, pure uncut rage fueled me. Cleared tree line, saw oak. She was still there, still hanging. No one else around. Decoy worked. Slowed approach last 50 yards, breathing controlled, footsteps silent, back to basics, move with purpose. Came up behind massive trunk, could hear her now, faint ragged gasping. Alive, conscious. Peered around edge of trunk, her face pale, lips turning blue, but eyes open, looking right at me. No relief in them, no tears, just steady, focused, calm, doing box breathing, 4-7-8. Even now, my daughter was warrior, didn't speak, didn't have to, moved to rope. Thick cheap nylon, kind bought at hardware store, looped over branch, tied off with fat knot around trunk. Kids work, didn't bother with knots, reached up with knife, blade razor sharp, sliced through rope just above her head. One clean cut. Caught her as fell, lighter than expected. Dead weight in arms, lowered to ground. Hands shaking now that immediate danger over. Laid her gently. Immediately cut zip ties on wrists. Hands swollen. Red. Checked airway. Constricted but clear. Looked at watch. From flyby to cut. 47 seconds. Felt like lifetime. Emily coughed. Deep rattling sound. Then started breathing. Really breathing. Sucking cool air in great greedy gulps. Eyes never left face. "Hey kiddo," I whispered. voice cracking. "Hey, Dad," she rasped. Voice barely audible. "Took you long enough." Weak smile touched lips. Dark humor. "Got that from me, too." Pulled her into hug, burying face in hair, smell of wood smoke and autumn leaves. Rage still there, cold, hard stone in chest, but now had purpose, fuel. We weren't victims, weren't going to scream or cry or run, going to do what always did, collect receipts. Make them pay. Not with fists, not with violence, with cold, hard, undeniable proof. Fight wasn't over, just begun. We didn't wait for Sheriff at Tree. Their crime scene, not ours. Helped Emily to feet, shaky, bruised, unbroken, walked back to helicopter. Silence between us, filled with grim understanding. New chapter. World showed ugly face. We were facing it together. Back at house, first thing, glass of water. Check her over carefully. Rope left raw red line across throat. Brutal necklace of violence. Marks from zip ties on wrists already bruising. Ugly purple welts against pale skin. Took photos, everything. Close-ups, wide shots. Documenting damage with detached precision of crime scene photographer. Each click, piece of evidence. Each photo, nail for their coffin. While Emily sat at kitchen table wrapped in blanket, sipping water, went to office, pulled SD card from trail camera, slid into computer, heart-pounding, slow, heavy rhythm, double-clicked file. There it was. Whole thing playing out in silent, high-def clarity. Ambush. Assault. Tyler's smug, jeering, face-filling frame. Friends' expressions. Mix of excitement and mob-fueled stupidity. Saw rope, saw zip ties. Most importantly, saw a timestamp. 4:02 p.m. Lined up perfectly with Jackson's call. My flight time. Everything. Digital witness that couldn't be bribed or intimidated. Told whole story. Saved copy. Then saved 3 more on different drives. Uploaded one to secure cloud server. Evidence needs redundancy. Next, went to Oak. Moved carefully, methodically. Found cut end of rope I'd left. Bagged it. Photographed knot still on trunk. Took fiber samples from bark where rope rubbed. Pictures of footprints. Building case. Simple, clear, utterly damning narrative. Montage of malice. Trail cam clip. Faces and act. Photos of Emily's injuries. Result. Rope fibers. Linking tool to scene. Zip ties also bagged. Proving premeditation. Hadn't just found those in woods. Brought them. Came back inside. Emily, looking at pictures on camera screen. Face mask of cold fury. They filmed it, she said. Voice low growl. Tyler had phone out whole time. I know. He was narrating. Wanted to post it, wanted everyone at school to see, humiliation as much weapon as rope. To them, her dignity, just another thing to take. Made rage burn hotter, kept voice steady. That phone is now single most important piece of evidence in this case. Video on it. Texts. Call logs. Treasure trove. They're too arrogant to think they need to delete it. Sat in silence. Weight settling. Had the what. When, where, who, evidence overwhelming, but still missing piece. Why? New big picture. Margaret wanted land, but this act so extreme, reckless. Just Tyler and friends being monstrous bullies, or something more? Directed? Margaret's threat that morning echoed. Things can happen. Felt too coordinated for random teenage cruelty. Needed link. Direct unbreakable chain from boys at tree to woman in big house across road. Looked at footage again, this time ignoring Tyler. Focused on other boys. Pack. Most just followers. Faces alike with thrill of belonging. Winning team. But one lanky kid named Jake looked different. Background of one shot. While Tyler taunting Emily could see Jake looking away. Expression uneasy. Wasn't laughing. Watching woods. Afraid of being seen. Weak link. Knew his family. Father, decent man, accountant, new to area, probably dazzled by Caldwell money and influence. Jake, impressionable, right now probably terrified, participated in attempted murder, had to know how much trouble he was in. Our way in. Looked at Emily. Need to go out little while. Stay here. Lock doors. Don't answer for anyone but me or sheriff. She just nodded. Eyes hard. Go. Get him. Knew exactly what she meant. Didn't mean Jake. Meant woman who started it. Woman who'd sicked. Dog on my daughter. Going to find Link. Pull thread until whole rotten tapestry unraveled. Jake, scared-looking boy in background, was going to be my first stitch. Finding Jake easy. Knew where lived. Knew her bigger house in Hawthorne Ridge. Monument to beige conformity. Didn't go to front door. Too confrontational. Put him defensive, parked down street. Waited. Hour later. Saw him come out, back door. Heading for detached garage. Alone. Got out. Walked across perfectly manicured lawn. Boots feeling out of place on lush green carpet. Intercepted halfway to garage. Jake. Voice quiet. Conversational. He jumped. Startled. Spun around. Saw me. Color drained from face. Looked like going to be sick. Knew who I was. Why I was there. Mr. Bryant, he stammered. I don't know anything. Think you do. I have video, Jake. From camera on my property. Very clear. Shows you. Shows everyone. Let that sink. Watched panic flicker. Just boy. Stupid scared boy gotten in overhead. Follower, not leader. Followers. Always first to break. It was just prank, he whispered. Words hollow. Sterling's idea. We didn't mean you put rope around my daughter's neck and left her hanging from tree. Where did you think it was going? Words cold. Hard as river stones. You held her arms, Jake. Video shows you holding arms while another boy put zip ties on. That's not prank. That's kidnapping and assault at minimum. Wasn't cop, but knew language. Saw him flinch. Kidnapping, assault, real. Had consequences. I didn't want to, voice cracking. Tyler said we had to. Said his mom wanted to send message. There it was. Link. His mom? Margaret Caldwell told you to do this? Keeping tone neutral. Just man asking question. Jake shaking now. Tears welling. Crumbling. Not us, told Tyler. Said your daughter was key. If you thought she wasn't safe, you'd sell farm. Wanted us scare her. Make it look like she was unstable. Like might try hurt herself. Sheer cynical evil took breath away. Weren't just trying scare. Building narrative. Paint 16-year-old as suicidal to gain negotiating advantage. Can you prove that, Jake? Softly. He hesitated. Looking around wildly. Like Margaret might materialize from trimmed hedges. Trapped between fear of Caldwell's and fear of me. Prison sentence staring down. Made choice easier. Right now, I said, you're looking at long time in place you don't want be, but you're minor, following orders. If you help, tell truth, you have chance. Lie to protect them, and I promise, I will bury you with this video. That was all it took. Fear of prison greater than fear of Tyler. Pulled out phone, hands trembling so badly could barely unlock. Scrolled through texts, showed screen, group chat, Tyler, Jake, other 4 boys. Messages all there. Text from Tyler sent hour before attack. Mom says it's on Oak Tree. Make it look convincing. She needs to be scared off for good. Another. Get rope from garage. I'll bring ties. Direct explicit order referencing mother. Smoking gun. Need you send those to me. And to your parents. Then you're talking to sheriff. He nodded. Face mess of tears and terror. Forwarded entire message chain. My phone buzzed. Had it. Unbreakable chain. From Margaret Caldwell to son to boys at tree. Conspiracy planned and executed to terrorize child to steal home. Looked at Jake. Pathetic broken kid. Didn't feel pity. Didn't feel anger. Felt nothing. Just tool. Had just given me everything needed to dismantle woman who used him. Go inside, Jake. Talk to father. Tell him everything. Only way out. Walked away, leaving him standing in twilight. Ghost on perfect lawn. First crack in dam appeared. About to turn it into flood. Official response from Caldwell's, predictable and disgusting. By time sheriff's deputy young guy named Rodriguez arrived at house, HOA's spin machine already high gear. Margaret had lawyered up, not just for herself, for Tyler and all boys. Statement released to local news. Masterpiece of corporate non-apology. Called it, regrettable incident of high school hazing that went tragically awry. Talked about intense school rivalries, youthful misjudgment, trying to frame as stupid prank between teenagers. Football team stunt gone wrong. Shrink crime, make small, understandable. Most importantly, not something wealthy developer would orchestrate. Deputy Rodriguez sat at kitchen table, looked tired, local boy, knew my family, knew Caldwell's, knew history of land dispute, laid it all out, played trail cam video, showed pictures of Emily's neck and wrists, handed bag with rope and zip ties. Rodriguez read time off body cam, sealed it, case number, date, my signature, logged, SD card, rope, ties, photo set into evidence, no gaps, no games. Then showed text messages from Jake's phone. He read them, expression hardening, scrawled twice, looked up, hazing, shaking head. This isn't hazing, this is felony, several felonies, let out long breath. Problem, Connor, is who we're dealing with. Margaret Caldwell basically owns county zoning board, best lawyers money can buy, going to tie this up for years. Say texts are fake. Sterling was bragging. Paint Emily as troubled kid. Drag your family through mud. He was right. Margaret's strategy. Use power and influence to create doubt. Muddy waters until no one's sure of truth anymore. Crush us with legal fees and public humiliation. But I had advantage she hadn't counted on. I had neighbors, real neighbors. Just as Rodriguez speaking, knock on door. My neighbor, Dr. Patterson, ER doctor at Blount Memorial. Sharp, no-nonsense woman who'd moved here for same reason I stayed. Peace and quiet. Called her right after got Emily back. Just have her check Emily out professionally. She came, examined Emily, left in state of quiet fury. Now she was back. Holding file. Deputy, nodding at Rodriguez. Heard Caldwell's calling this hazing. Opened file on table. Official medical report. I'm emergency room physician. Treated dozens of victims of assault, strangulation, hanging attempts. What happened to Emily Bryant was not hazing, pointing to photos. These are classic ligature marks, consistent with attempted strangulation by hanging, petechial hemorrhaging in eyes, bruising patterns, throat injuries and burst eye capillaries, textbook strangling. Paused. Diagnosis reads, attempted homicide by ligature strangulation. Prepared to testify under oath what was done to this child from medical standpoint. Attempted murder. Any competent prosecutor will see same. Rodriguez looked at report, at Dr. Patterson, at me. Slow smile. Well, ma'am, that certainly clarifies things. Dr. Patterson wasn't just neighbor, expert witness, credible, unimpeachable professional who could tear hazing defense to shreds. Margaret's lawyers could try discredit me, try discredit Emily. But discrediting experienced ER doctor testifying to physical medical fact? Much harder. Tide starting to turn. Official story from on high, challenged by facts on ground. Rodriguez's phone rang. Sheriff. Listened. Eyes widening slightly. Yes, sir. Yes. Understood. Hung up. Looked at me. That was Sheriff. Just got call from Judge Morrison. Judge Morrison, retired circuit court judge who lived other side of Jackson's ranch. Apparently, Rodriguez said, Jackson rode over, told Judge what he saw. Judge is displeased. Told Sheriff if doesn't see thorough aggressive investigation, making calls to State Attorney General. Used words, criminal conspiracy and racketeering. Community closing ranks. Not manicured artificial community of Hawthorne Ridge, bound by HOA rules and property values. Real community. Ranchers, doctors, old-timers here for generations. Knew right from wrong. Knew land grab when saw one. Margaret thought power came from money and connections in county seat. Forgotten about power of people who actually lived on land she was trying to steal. They were my allies. Not letting this go. Rodriguez stood. Demeanor changed. Wasn't just tired deputy. Man with purpose. Powerful allies. Connor. Going to have talk with Caldwell's. Getting warrant for kid's phone. Getting that video. Paused at door. You did good. You and daughter. Stay strong. After left. House quiet again. Different quiet. Not silence of fear. Calm before storm. Caldwell's spun story. But we had truth. Had evidence. Had expert testimony. Had community waking up. Board. Bigger than thought. Fight. No longer just me against them. Us. And starting to think Margaret had severely catastrophically underestimated how many of us there were. Final piece clicked into place next day. Rodriguez got warrant for Tyler's phone, but phone was lost. Convenient accident. New video was damning. Got rid of it, but they were amateurs. Forgot other boys had phones too. After pressure from parents now staring down barrel of sons charged as accessories to attempted murder, other phones started appearing. All had videos, but more importantly, full unedited group chat history. Tyler's texts there, but so were earlier messages. Messages laying out real motive with chilling clarity. Rodriguez brought laptop over that evening. Didn't have to, but did. Thought you should see this, face grim. Pulled up series of documents. First, architectural plans. Official submission for Phase 2 of Hawthorne Ridge development. Showed new road connecting proposed subdivision to main highway. Road cut directly across northern edge of my property, right where old oak stood. Then another document. Internal HOA memo leaked by board member who'd finally grown conscience. Memo detailed HOA's repeated failed attempts to purchase easement from me for exact strip of land. Quoted my refusal. Estimated refusal costing developer Margaret Caldwell Development LLC upwards $3.5 million due to rerouting road around property. Memo dated 3 weeks before attack on Emily. She was getting desperate, Rodriguez said, pointing at screen. Construction loans contingent on that access road. Without it, whole project could fall apart. Had to have your land. Final document made blood run cold. Map overlay. One layer, architectural plan for road. Other layer, map showing known cellular dead zones. More importantly, blind spots of all security cameras in Hawthorne Ridge. Margaret had cameras everywhere, watching Perfect Kingdom. Overlay showed old oak spot where assaulted daughter in one perfect blind spot. Invisible to cameras. In cell phone dead zone. Perfect place to commit crime. Believe could get away. All there. Motive wasn't just greed. Desperation. Attack wasn't random cruelty. Calculated business decision. Margaret had weighed potential $3, 5M loss against risk of getting caught terrorizing 16-year-old. Rolled dice. Tried creating situation. Faked suicide attempt by troubled teen force me sell out of fear. Or, in darkest interpretation, remove Emily as heir. Making future sale easier. Wasn't just bully. Monster. Hiding behind nice neighborhood mask. Group chat messages from Tyler's friends confirmed. Texts from Tyler week before. Talking about how mom freaking out about Bryant problem. Needed permanent solution. Promised other boys dad would take care of them if help solve problem. All there, black and white. Conspiracy motivated by millions to terrorize child. We have her, Rodriguez said. Closing laptop. Enough for DA to go grand jury indictment. Conspiracy, attempted murder, kidnapping, throw book at her. Knew he was right. In court, win eventually. After months, maybe years of legal battles. Appeals, Margaret using every dirty trick expensive lawyers could think. Drag daughter through endless depositions. Try breaking her on stand. Try ruining us financially. We'd win. But cost us. Cost peace, privacy, time. Decided in that moment Margaret wasn't getting satisfaction of long drawn-out courthouse war, wanted humiliate daughter in public, returning favor, deserved to have world crumble. Not in sterile quiet of courthouse, front of everyone she'd ever tried to impress. When is HOA Gala? I asked Rodriguez, looked at me. Confused frown. Big annual fundraiser? Tomorrow night at Clubhouse. Why? Need you and few deputies there. Unofficially at first. Just be ready. Slow grin spread across face. Understood immediately. Connor, you're not thinking. They tried making spectacle of daughter. Only fair returned favor. Built whole world on foundation of lies and intimidation. Just going to show everyone truth. On their stage. Under their lights. Storm coming. Making sure Margaret standing right in center when lightning struck. Hawthorne Ridge Clubhouse. Exactly as tacky and ostentatious as imagined. Glass. Chrome. Giant soulless paintings of golf courses. Annual HOA Gala in full swing. Men in ill-fitting tuxedos. Women in glittering dresses. Milling around. Drinking cheap champagne. Laughing too loud. Monument to suburban vanity. Center of it all. Margaret Caldwell holding court. Burnt orange power suit gleaming under lights. Accepting congratulations for community leadership. Looked relaxed. Confident. Thought weathered storm. Thought lawyers and money-made problem go away. Wrong. Thunderstorm rolling in from west. Real kind. Dark bruised clouds. Distant rumble. Felt appropriate. Wasn't dressed for gala. Wore jeans. Work boots. Dark jacket. Hadn't come through front door. Few hours earlier. Quiet conversation with Clubhouse's IT guy. Young man whose sister in Emily's history class. Didn't like Caldwell's. Nobody did. Feared. Not respected. More than happy to give backdoor password to AV system. In small control booth at back of ballroom. Looking down on party. Emily home with Dr. Patterson. Safe. This was my job. On laptop. Everything queued. Simple video file. Started with trail cam footage. Cut to pictures of Emily's injuries. Then text messages displayed huge, easy-to-read letters. Audio track. Recording from helicopter cockpit camera. Captured engine sound. Call with Jackson. My ragged breathing as ran. Complete package. 5-minute story of crime told with irrefutable evidence. Main event, speech by Margaret herself. Presenting giant check to local charity. Public performance of own generosity. Step to podium, smug smile plastered on face. Behind her, massive projector screen displaying Hawthorne Ridge logo. My friends, my neighbors, she began. Voice booming through speakers. Testament to what we can build together. My cue. Bypassed presentation. Pushed file to main projector. HOA logo vanished. In place. Grainy time-stamped footage from trail camera-filled screen. Ballroom fell silent. People turned from podium to screen. Champagne glasses frozen halfway to lips. Saw varsity jackets. Saw Emily. Saw assault. Collective gasp. Margaret stopped talking. Smile gone. Stared at screen in horror. Tyler standing near front turned white as sheet. Audio kicked in. Helicopter sound. Desperate relay from Jackson. My voice tight with controlled panic. Then video switched. Close-up photos. Rope burns on Emily's neck. Brutal purple marks from zip ties. Silence absolute. Thick with shock and disgust. Finally, text messages appeared. Big enough for everyone to read. Mom says it's on Oak Tree. Make it look convincing. She needs to be scared off for good. Link there for all to see. Conspiracy laid bare. Margaret's crime projected 10 feet high in front of friends, neighbors, entire world, finally found voice. This is lie, she screamed. Pointing, shaking, finger at screen. This is fake. Doctored evidence. Too late. Illusion shattered. People backing away. Faces. Masks of contempt. Tyler in panic did stupidest thing possible. Acted like bully he was. Lunged toward stage. Trying to get to podium. Cables. Make it stop. Anticipated that. Already moving. Came out of booth. Met him at stage edge. He threw wild punch. Stepped inside. Deflected. Put him on floor with clean takedown. No drama. No wasted motion. Problem neutralized. Tyler hit floor. Ballroom doors blew open. Deputy Rodriguez and 2 officers strode in. All business. Outside. Storm broke. White flash. Hard thunder. Perfect. Rodriguez went to Tyler first. Cuffed him where lay. Tyler Caldwell, you're under arrest for kidnapping and assault. Turned to podium. Margaret Caldwell, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. Warrants active for other 4 teammates. Names on screen. Margaret's mouth worked. No sound. Deputy took wrists. Years of image and money evaporating in 5 minutes under projector bulb. Clean. Public. Final. Didn't stay for applause. Walked out into rain. My part done. Justice in end. Timing and proof. Weeks later. Everywhere. Charges stuck. Trail cam video. Texts. Jake's statement. Airtight. Margaret's high-priced lawyers filed motions. Press quotes. None mattered. Other 4 boys charged too. 1 day of team pride turned into row of court dates. Hawthorne Ridge cracked. Board members quit. New board came in. People wanting neighborhood, not fiefdom. Phase 2 died on memo. Road across Ridge went with it. Land grab over. Farm stayed ours. Courts moved slow. We let them. Community didn't. Neighbors spoke up. Old rancher told story. ER doctor told hers. Sheriff did job. Truth held. But our ending didn't happen in courtroom. Came on quiet Saturday. 1 month out. Climbed oak. Took down little trail cam. Work finished. In place. Bolted bigger, brighter camera. No secret this time. Still watching. Brought something else too. Small brass bell. Ship style. Clear tone. Hung from same low branch they'd used for rope. Tied braided cord to clapper. Emily stood under limb. Bruises gone. Rope burn faded to thin white mark. Eyes steady. Not broken. Tempered. Took cord. Gave me small stubborn smile. Then pulled. Bell rang out. Bright. Clean. Across valley. Not warning. Marker. Line in air. We're still here. This is our home. We will protect it. Sound rolled off hills. Came back to us. Meant we were safe. Meant valley heard. Meant if anyone tried again, wouldn't be facing one family. Facing all of us. Put arm around kid. Listened his last note. Faded into trees. Quiet came back. Not scared, kind. Good kind. Kind you earn. Stood there while. Just breathing. No speech. No toast. Oak above. Farm below. Bell. Between. When finally walked down ridge, new camera's little light winked once. Like nod. Past could keep footage. Future would make its own. If trouble ever came up road again, someone would pull cord, Valley would hear, and we'd be ready. The burnt orange power suit, once symbol of authority and intimidation, was gone. Margaret was gone. What remained? Tennessee Valley learning to breathe again. Community of people who'd stood together and won. One very satisfied Navy SEAL who'd proven sometimes best defense isn't weapon. Sometimes it's truth. Documented, organized, presented with receipts. Because in the end, fraudulent power built on conspiracy always has one fatal vulnerability: facts. And when facts are projected 10 feet high in front of 200 witnesses, there's nowhere left to hide.